Hey guys, hope you all are doing good. Hope you all are having a great weekend. I know this is like the first video you've seen of me in a long time because I've been doing my fantasy wrestling league, and I thank you guys for tuning into that. So I wanted to do this video because I wanted to discuss my experience at the All-Star Fest that is currently taking place in Philadelphia for the All-Star weekend. Um, it's 4 days: Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And I happened to be there yesterday for the opening day of it. How I was able to get to this, one of my nephews is a Capital holds Capital One card, and they gave free tickets. So he got a ticket for obviously himself. He got one for his dad, and he got one for me. So we were able to go to Philadelphia at the convention center. Um, Folks, it is unbelievable. There's a lot of positives with this convention, this festival that's going on. There's so many pluses. The exhibits that they had there are fantastic. If you're into trading cards like I am, they have a whole thing for tops, like the history of tops, and you get free cards. They have an entire section of Negro League baseball. They have a section on the history of baseball in Japan. It was very well done. Um, there's an area where you can call strike three, which is a really cool thing. I'm going to put the video up on my channel so you guys can see me be an umpire for 30 seconds. Um, Trust me, I'm not going into a career as an umpire, but it was a pretty cool thing. Um, my favorite exhibit that I got to see there, my favorite thing was this exhibit of trophies that they had. There were trophies there. Um, Multiple players. Tony Gwynn's family donated a couple to the show. Gary Maddox was another one. I think Aaron Judge. There was another one. Bryce Harper had a trophy or two there. And then they had different displays of like the American League trophy and the National League trophy, which is given to the teams that win, they get to the World Series. And then the coolest part was you got to have your picture taken next to the commissioner's trophy, the World Series trophy. And I got to have my picture taken next to it. My nephew was on the other side. The only thing is, and I think everyone should know this if you're thinking about going to this, you can't touch the trophy. You can put your hands on the table, but you can't touch the trophy. It was very cool. There was a family ahead of us by a little bit. One of their kids had a Grogu figure that was holding up next to the trophy. Another one had, I think, like a rhino or a bear or something. It was pretty cool. Um, but no, like I've never been that close to a sports trophy like that wide open. Because like I've been to the Football Hall of Fame, and like the Vince Lombardi trophy's in a case. I've been to the Baseball Hall of Fame twice, and it's in a case. This was out there, like it was legitimately out there, and it was like, oh my god, I'm near like it was unbelievable. It was an experience I can't put it into words. You have like if you don't go to it this year, but you don't do go to it in the future, you really have to try it. It is absolutely amazing. Um, they also had a display for the home run derby chains that go to the winner. I did get to see the one that they're going to give to the winner this year. We wanted to get in line, but you had to make a reservation, and that's going to be one of the things that I'm going to mention in a couple minutes about the stuff that I had a little bit of issues with, but they're not like big. So, um, you could play different video games there. Um, the autographs you could get a lot of free stuff. I got this Tug McGraw chain from Hunt Auctions just for following them on social media. and they were really cool. Um, there's just so much stuff there. It's unbelievable. Um, Obviously, you're not going to be able to do everything, but still, if you go, you gotta go. It's incredible. One of the things that they did mention that they did have was that you could try foods, pardon me, from all the ballparks. Folks, that was the longest line I saw the entire time I was there. Cause like you had like your different stands. You had beer stands. Budweiser was there, Corona was there. Which at first I was like, why is this there? But then I was like, oh, okay, it's not that bad. If you had been in that line on Saturday, you would have been in that line for at least an hour. That's how far back that line went. It was unbelievable. Like the sight of it was unbelievable. So I'm going to get to, I guess, complaint may be the right word. I'm not really sure. I'm trying not to, harpoon on what was a great experience because it was a fantastic experience. Um, but I'm going to mention my two main things, and then I am going to mention the whole reservation thing briefly. So my two big complaints that I had. One was the autograph stage. Not the timing. Like, the timing was not the problem. I totally got that. It was, you had two lines. Your reservation and your non-reservation. Obviously, if you reserved a spot, you were going to get your autograph. If you didn't, you were kind of taking a chance. And depending on who it was, you may get the autograph, you may not. We were fortunate to get Lance Parrish's autograph, which, actually, I'm going to show you guys. If you give me a moment. I do have this here. Here it is. Lance Parrish, Philadelphia Phillies, and then on the back, kind of the sticker of authenticity for Major League Baseball. So this is a keeper for me for the rest of my life. I'm never giving that one away. No, but it's like, like the Larry Boa line was long. And it was like, even when he got through everybody, if you had reserved, if you didn't reserve and you were going through that line, it was like, you're probably not going to get a chance. What I would like to have seen, maybe a bit of a bigger stage, maybe have a fourth, person or a fifth person there, or have it to where everyone gets a chance to get their stuff signed. But once it hits the top of that next hour, that's when it stops. Maybe do that. But I'm not nitpicking about the times. Like, times are set. You got to do it. I totally get it. I totally understand. I just wish they'd have maybe a little bit of a better system with the autographing sessions. That's my first one. My other one that I have a pick with is I was going to get a shirt for the, to say, hey, I was here. There's the All-Star game. They only went up to a 2X. I'm a big guy. I'm sure a lot of big guys are watching this. They didn't have a 3X. I was looking for a 3X, but they didn't have a 4X. It only went to 2X. Guys, or baseball, come on. You got a lot of fans that are big, either in height or size or weight or whatever. Gotta show them some love. Gotta get out the 3X, the 4X. Hell, even if it's there, the 5X. You gotta have that there. So it's kind of like maybe you're taking a chance that, people like me will only get a 2X. Should have had a 3X. Should have had a 4X. I think that's something I would like to have seen, but maybe it's online on the store. I'm not really sure. I'm going to check it out, but I would have liked to have gone away with a shirt saying, hey, I was at this. But I did get a cool pennant, which I'm going to show you guys right now. Here we go. So, at least I got that. So, that's kind of cool. But those are my two major complaints, and again, I'm going to go back to the reservation thing real quick. Um, Wi-Fi was free, which obviously that's great, but just everybody's on it. I think you got to do like a better job somehow of getting the reservation thing done, where it's like everyone can have a chance, but you know, I'm not gonna pick my battles on this. I'm just gonna let that one slide. But I just think it would have been cool to have had everything kind of set, but obviously you can't. So I'm gonna say this: I have been to comic conventions. I've been to comic cons. I've been to a bunch of wrestling conventions. Of all conventions I've ever been to, this was the best one I've ever been to. This one just blew me away. If you are a baseball fan, if you are a fanatic like I am, you need to get to the All-Star Fest at some point in your life. If you don't get it to Philadelphia next year, it's in Chicago. The Cubs are going to host the All-Star game. If there is an All-Star game, which I really do hope there is, get to the one in Chicago. If you don't get to that one, I don't know where 28 and 29 and 30 are going to be, but I'm sure they're going to announce that in the future. Try to get to at least one. I think adults, the tickets were like $35, which is not that bad. Like a lot of places charge more, but $35 is not that bad. But like I said, because my nephew was a Capital One card holder, we got our tickets for free, so we were just able to get in, no problem. I'm going to be posting a lot of pictures on my Instagram account, which you guys can check out, Mr. Billiam85. I'll probably put the link in the description so you guys can follow me just to see the pictures. And I'll put up the video of me calling strike 3, so you guys can either laugh at me or enjoy the video. Either way, I don't really care. I had a blast doing it. But all in All-Star Fest, it was fantastic. It was great experience. It's one that I will never forget anytime soon. Hopefully I'll never forget it for the rest of my life. It is there till Tuesday. So if you're in the Philadelphia area, please go to it. Go to it. You've got 2 days. Go. Experience it. Have a great time like I did, like my nephew did, like my brother-in-law did. Just have a fun time. All in all, great experience. I recommend everyone that is a baseball fan to go to it at least once in your life. At least once. Go check out the All-Star Fest.